This is the Jansno X60, one of the most feature-packed fat tire e-bikes I've tested so far. It is loaded with everything you could ask for, starting with the star of the show, an all-wheel drive system that combines two motors for a total of 1500 watts of power. Also, you've got full suspension, an innovative NFC card unlock system, a slick advanced LCD display, and a massive battery that is also very easy to remove. And all of that is wrapped up in a bold, retro motorcycle-inspired design. Let's dive in. The bike arrives in a pretty standard box, clearly labeled with the Jansno brand and the model name. Everything inside was packed neatly and there was no transportation damage in my case. Inside the box you get everything you need to get started, all the components that need to be assembled, a basic toolkit, the charger with its cable, a set of keys, a pair of NFC tags for unlocking the bike, and a few nice extras like a bike lock, a phone holder, and a small air pump. Assembly takes about 30 minutes and it is pretty straightforward. If you need help, you can always check out the official manufacturer's assembly video, which walks through the process step by step. If you're thinking about getting this bike for yourself, check out the links and show notes in the video description down below. The Jansno X60 really stands out with its retro, vintage, motorcycle-inspired design. It's a great-looking bike, and the build quality backs it up. Everything feels solid and well put together. The frame is robust, the paint finish is smooth and even, and it gives off a genuinely premium vibe. That brown faux leather seat adds a nice touch of style, and it is surprisingly comfortable for longer rides. The bike features a flat handlebar setup. Neither the seat nor the handlebars are height adjustable, but you can adjust the handlebar angle to dial in a more comfortable riding position. Now, the real star of the show is the dual motor setup. There is a 750-watt rear hub motor and an identical 750-watt motor in the front wheel. Combined, that gives you a total of 1500 watts and up to 120 Nm of torque. You can activate it using either the twist throttle or pedal assist. Another highlight is the full suspension system. Up front, you get a suspension fork, and at the rear, a shock absorber. Both work together to soak up bumps and rough terrain, making it very comfortable to ride. Just like most fat tire e-bikes, this one comes with 20 by 4-inch fat tires. But there, Jansno went with a dual sport tread pattern, which offers better grip on asphalt compared to knobby tires while still allowing you to go off-road. They are not as aggressive as dedicated off-road tires, but they strike a nice balance for mixed terrain. The one-piece alloy rims are a solid touch. They are durable and require less maintenance. The bike comes with plastic fenders front and back. The rear fender has two mounting points and feels very stable, but the front one only uses a single mount. It stays in place just fine, but it might rattle a little bit over bumps. Nothing major, just something I noticed. The pedals are metal, so they feel solid and durable, and the kickstand is firm and does a good job supporting the bike. For stopping power, you get hydraulic disc brakes on the front and rear. One of the standout features is the battery. It is huge, it has 23 amp hours, and it is super easy to remove and carry thanks to the built-in handle. It locks into place with a key for added security. And there is the headlight, easily one of the best I've seen on an e-bike. It is a motorcycle-grade light with a seriously powerful beam. Riding at night feels totally safe and well lit. You also get turn signals both front and rear, a bright taillight, and an integrated brake light. So you're well covered when it comes to visibility and road safety. The drivetrain is a standard Shimano 7-speed, nothing fancy, but it gets the job done reliably. The grips are also quite comfortable, which makes a difference on longer rides. There are a few control clusters on the handlebar. One of them includes a button to toggle between rear-wheel drive and dual-motor all-wheel drive, which is awesome for saving battery or getting extra power when needed. That same cluster lets you control your turn signals and horn. The other mini control center handles your pedal assist level, light controls, and display functions. Now, speaking of the display, it is one of the highlights. You can turn the bike on using the supplied NFC tags, a key, a password, or even a compatible smartphone. I mostly use the included NFC key fobs. It's super convenient. Just tap the display to turn the bike on or off. Easy. The display itself is also very functional. You can switch between 5 power assist levels or turn off motor power entirely. It shows odometer, trip distance, average and maximum speed, real-time voltage, amps, watts, time, and battery level. Also, there is a clear speed readout, and it shows whether the lights are on and, most importantly, which motor mode you're in. When both motors are engaged, you'll see two wheels on the screen. Press the dedicated two-wheel drive button and you can switch to rear wheel only, with the display updating accordingly. Another neat touch, this new display comes with USB Type-C charging port instead of the older USB Type-A you find on most e-bikes. It's great for charging your phone or accessories while riding. And finally, the horn. It is loud, like really loud. Here is a quick audio test. The riding experience on the Jansno X60 is easily one of the best I've had on a fat tire e-bike, or really any e-bike in this category. You can instantly feel the power of the dual motors, and it's kind of insane. The moment you twist the throttle, the bike surges forward. You might even get the wheel spin on asphalt, which is ridiculous for an e-bike. That immediate torque doesn't taper off either, it just keeps pulling hard. This power lets you hit speeds of over 50 km per hour, even higher what the manufacturer claims, which is a rare thing. With a bit of downhill momentum, I pushed it to nearly 60 km per hour, which is crazy fast. To reach these speeds though, you do need to unlock the speed limiter. I did it strictly for testing purposes and only recommend doing it on private property. It is pretty simple, just unplug the specific cable from the controller. And if you ever want to revert back to the 25 km per hour limit, just plug it back in. It's not just about speed, the dual motors also improve overall stability. Even at high speeds, the bike feels planted and smooth. You definitely feel the added traction and balance, especially when riding on uneven surfaces. Of course, you can still pedal if you want to. The riding geometry doesn't give you the most natural pedaling position, but it is usable. The Shimano 7-speed drivetrain shifts smoothly, so you can adjust your cadence easily when you are not relying on the motor. Like most fat tire e-bikes, this one uses a cadence sensor. That means that there is a slight delay before the motor kicks in when you start pedaling. But you can always bypass that by using the throttle for instant power, so it's not really a problem. The 20x4-inch fat tires provide excellent grip across different surfaces: pavement, gravel, light trails. I tested the X60 on all of them, and it handled each one without issue. The dual sport tread pattern doesn't perform quite as well as dedicated knobby off-road tires, but it strikes a great balance between off-road capability and smooth on-road performance. The power delivery is consistent and the torque makes climbing hills or handling rough terrain feel effortless. Balance and control are definitely strong points here. Whether you're cruising on a paved road or bouncing around off-road, the bike stays grounded and predictable. The full suspension setup, front fork and rear shock, isn't the most luxurious, but it absolutely helps smooth out bumps and rough patches. At this price point, getting full suspension at all is a big win, especially when many fat tire e-bikes come only with front suspension. Hydraulic brakes also add to the confidence. They offer strong, reliable stopping power in both dry and wet conditions. Overall, the riding experience is fantastic. This is one of the most powerful e-bikes in its class, and you can feel that power no matter the terrain. It's fast, stable, and genuinely fun to ride, a solid performer across the board. The manufacturer claims a maximum range of up to 100 km, but as always, real-world results tell a different story. If you're riding in full electric mode, using the throttle most of the time and staying on the highest power assist level, you are realistically looking at around 40 km on a single charge. When I switched to eco mode and added some consistent pedaling, I was able to stretch that to about 70 km. Of course, because this is a powerful dual-motor e-bike, I spent most of the time in full power mode just to enjoy the bike's full potential. But if you want to conserve energy and extend your range, you can always switch to single motor mode, which is a rear wheel drive only, and that makes a noticeable difference in power consumption. As always, your actual mileage will depend on a few factors like terrain, your weight, riding style, assist level, and even the weather. The battery itself is removable and lockable, so you can easily charge it on the bike or take it inside. The design is actually quite clever. It is slightly open at the top and it includes a built-in handle, so lifting it out is really convenient. There is also a cover for the charging port. At first, I was a little bit concerned about the battery being exposed, but after using the bike, including washing it, I've had no issues. The battery stayed perfectly fine. That said, the manufacturer clearly states that the bike is only rated for daily splash protection. It's not meant to be ridden in heavy rain, and they recommend using a waterproof cover for the battery to be safe, especially if you plan to ride in unpredictable weather. charging from empty to full takes just about 6 hours, which is actually quite good for the battery of this size. So, to wrap it up, the Jansno X60 is an absolute powerhouse of a fat tire e-bike. It brings together a seriously impressive set of features: dual motors with 1500 watts of combined power, full suspension, hydraulic brakes, a massive 23 amps battery, an advanced LCD display with NFC unlock, and a motorcycle-grade lighting setup, all packed into a stylish, retro-inspired frame. It's not perfect. The front fender setup could be slightly improved and the cadence sensor has a slight delay, but those are minor things when you look at the whole package. The riding experience is fantastic, the build quality is solid, and the range is respectable, especially considering the power this thing puts out. If you are after a fast, feature-packed and fun-to-ride fat tire e-bike that can handle all kinds of terrain while looking like a little electric motorcycle, the X60 is definitely worth checking out. It is one of the best all-around fat tire e-bikes at the moment. Tell me in the comment section down below, what do you think about the Jansno X60? Would you buy this e-bike or would you choose another option? As always, like the video if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, it was Linus, thank you for watching and see you soon.